We live?
This nigga came in at the very last minute.
Photo
Dude,
finish.
we are live, man. We are live.
Cool. What's up, people? What's going on? You know what time it is? It's
Yep.
Wait,
turntable time.
Oh, you know what?
Mm.
what time is it?
It's turntable time. That's what it is.
The read.
That's right. That's right. Y'all know what it is. I'm your host. I'm Haiku. I'm here with some of my favorite quarantine peoples. Let's check them out. Let's check them out. We got my man, Most High Jinx, in the building from United Grind. Yep. We got my rhyme partner, my brother in rhyme. We got Siege from E.com. And we have my boy who can't be seen at the moment, but he's still
Keep trying.
he's always there with us in spirit. There he is. My man Garb's Infinite.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick,
and there he was.
I could tell he was struggling as soon as he came in, how he was looking like, oh, it ain't working right.
He look it was tough. Oh well, it's all good. He'll be back on in a minute. We got a pretty good show here for you today, people. We got a special guest coming on to talk to us a little bit. We got some really good topics. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
People want to know who the special
Oh,
guest is,
I'm so
man.
glad that you asked. We have Miss Lena Jackson, uh, MC extraordinaire, the Wolf. She's gonna be on the show with us in a little bit. Should be good,
Yeah.
man. Should be good. She cool people, man. Cool people, and can rhyme. She can rhyme.
Yeah.
That. So if you
Lena,
haven't,
Lena is actually going to be a part of episode 7 of the turntable. So y'all need to make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel because when that episode airs, you want to know when it airs. You feel me? But we're gonna bring her on today and chop it up. Y'all know how we do. We keep it fluid. You know what I'm saying? For the live stream, man.
absolutely. Well, why don't we talk about what happened just last night, right? Just last night. We had Luda versus Nelly. Okay, now I didn't watch it. I'm
Did
gonna say
we?
this already. Huh?
Did
Well,
we?
did that's the question. I don't know. I heard that there were some issues. Heard them connection issues.
Yeah.
So
There
I
were
didn't
some
see.
issues. Some would say there were issues before it even got started.
Well, explain.
Well, I would say so.
You would say so? I mean, let me explain. Knife, gunfight, knife, gunfight. It wasn't fair to begin with, honestly.
Yeah. So you're saying that Nelly killed him, huh?
I, s- yeah, Nelly killed himself. He sure did.
Yep.
Uh, Seriously though, I saw somebody talking about Lauren Hill, and I can't remember who it was, and it was on Facebook. But they said Lauren Hill can't battle. She's got one book of work, so you can't have her in a battle. I disagree. I
I've
disagree.
heard it before, bro.
But
Definitely heard.
but if anybody had a limited book of work, it was Nelly.
hmm
Nelly's book is mad limited. Now
Phys-
I won't take away his hits. He got some hits.
Yeah.
But as far as a career, a book of work, it was limited to begin with. Luda had summers upon summers
Summers
upon.
upon.
I mean, yeah.
And
Speed, who isn't here today, Speed said it best. Speed said it would have been better for Luda to go up against Ti.
Ooh.
That would have been a better matchup.
yeah, I definitely feel like that would have been a better pace. It would have, worked out a little better. You know what I'm saying?
They could exchange blows.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're in the same, weight class. You know what I'm saying? They're in the same weight class, hit wise, lyrically. It definitely could have been a better match for Luda. You know what I'm saying? You know, even as much of a beast that of a career Nelly has had, it's just like you see what it means for an artist who is very successful to not translate, or for his work to not translate, you know, down the line into the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing that was crazy to me is that, you know, I was looking at the views. I think they maxed out at maybe about like 430,000.
Oh, I didn't know they got that high. No, I'm serious. I ain't even trying to joke.
And the thing that's crazy to me, I was like, man, if you would have told me in like the mid 2000s, if we had like streaming on the internet in the mid 2000s, that a Jill Scott, Erica Badu live damn doubled the numbers of Nelly. You know how crazy that is, right? If you would have told me in the 2000s that their stream had double the numbers as Nelly, I'd have been like, "Oh, you tripping?" Nelly was just.
I might have understood, but then again, I was.
You ain't a Nelly fan, though.
Man, to say I'm not a Nelly fan is a severe understatement.
Well, no, not even on no fan stuff. Just the fact that
Nelly
was.
He was, but Nelly came out in a time where music, and I'm not saying it's not now, but that era of rap was very gimmicky, it was just a weird time for rap. All those dudes in that era,
it was
that whole era, they're non-existent. So I mean, you talking about Laffy Taffy, D4L, you talking about, I mean, just that whole segment of dudes.
Oh man,
they can't. I knew years later people would look back on that and be like,
the white.
I knew when it was happening.
Yeah.
But came and went in and out.
Yeah, it's a long list of dudes. Go ahead.
Nelly was not one of those guys, so that was the thing about that. You know what I'm saying?
He was in that era though.
He was in the era. There's a lot of cats in the era. Was in the era. T.I. was in the era. You know what I'm saying?
Nelly dipped his toe in those shenanigans though. He partook in some of those
shenanigans.
Well, absolutely. I mean, to me, the other thing too, it was Nelly wasn't trying to be like MC. Like he was saying, I'm an entertainer. I mean, he might say I'm a rapper, whatever. Luda to me was one of them cats, like T.I., same general era, but they always had that whole premise of like, I can rhyme with anyone. I mean, Luda is a competitive cat. Same thing with T.I. Those are some competitive people that really, I feel like Luda, I've seen him do an interview before, and he's like, I can rhyme on anything. And I think he always had like, I mean, I obviously don't know him, never met him, but he
read it to the test.
Yes.
Did y'all?
Yes.
Yeah. And I appreciate
that. Was it for me. That was it for me. That I wasn't the biggest Luda fan either. I didn't hate him, but that Red and Meth skit, that told me everything I needed to know about Luda. I said, you know what? This dude hungry. This dude is hungry. Yeah. He wants to be respected. Because for him to even try that,
and it wasn't like he was a nobody at that point.
Right.
Like, he wasn't a nobody at that point, but he still was like, no, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
I just got to find a beat because this beat is horrible.
But yo, check it out, man. We got, a couple heads in the chat. We gotta shout out the chat, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Who's in the chat? Holla at us, man. You know what I'm saying? Put up a comment. Let us know you in here.
It looked like Guard's in the chat.
Why? He should be here.
He got to restart his computer. There's a reason we start early.
Uh-huh. Garb's got that Nelly Wi-Fi.
There you go. No. He's trying to. Okay.
What's Nelly's real name?
Oh man,
Philip.
You know,
Philip, I believe.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
There he is. Can you move?
What's up? I'm on my phone right now. I don't know how it sounds or is working, but restarted my computer.
Oh yeah, you're
Going a
struggling.
little bit slow, so
Phone
video switcheroo in a second.
It's all good.
All
To
right.
answer your question, Nelly's real name is Cornell Haynes Jr.
Damn. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The more
Go
you
Google.
know.
The more
So
you
Haiku,
know.
you said you didn't see any of it, right?
Nah. Yesterday, last evening was family time. I did not partake in the battle. So, but I'm sure Garbs did. Garbs, did you watch it or did you have issues?
I watched part of it.
Okay, what'd you think?
Part of it, and then I knew Luda was gonna win.
What made you think that?
Luda was gonna outshine.
Absolutely, man.
I think that I just like Luda's music more, and I think that it hit more. And I think that, in my honest opinion, perspective, I think his music stands a little bit firmer based off of content and sound. Whereas I was hearing you talk about,
I don't know.
Nelly's
Tip drill is
music.
still relevant.
I
It's still
mean,
relevant.
okay, let me.
I'm playing.
He's
I'm
joking,
let me
Garbs. Stop
rephrase.
it.
With a whole rebuttal.
Right? I object. You ain't gotta object. Save it. Sustain.
Haiku, while Garbs is still explaining, do me a favor and look up Nelly's biggest selling album and look up Luda's biggest selling album. I'm just curious.
Okay.
But I agree
Nelly
with you.
sold more, no matter. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would assume Nelly sold more. I don't think he sold more over his whole career, though.
No.
No,
Because Nelly's had more albums.
You mean Luda?
Luda's had more albums. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I believe Nelly has sold more as far as a single album.
Right. I would assume. But it's not like Luda wasn't. So I'm curious.
So moving on, we have something special. And we need to get to that because I'm ready to unwrap this gift. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You're welcome.
All right.
Oh, you weren't talking about me. My bad. Go ahead.
That's why I got the sound setting. So check it out. So we have a real special guest. Like we said, we have Miss Lena Jackson in the building. And I wanted to give the people out there who may not know who she is the proper introduction. So what I'm actually going to do before we bring her on, we just going to give you a little bit of taste of what she does and who she is with a little bit of this right here.
Word. North Carolina, what up? 919-336-252 910-704.
Put some thumbs up in the comments.
Yeah. Watch the starving artists paint some crazy lines. I tilt my brim way low to hide the halo. No softies in these days and times. I used to let shots slide. The biggest cost was the loss of my mind. So now I'm cocking back this brand and that's fine. Hustle over hurting. Hold the tears to keep the surgeon. Revoke the She-Hulk. Unleash the wrath when the path open for purging. I'm free to murk the world and laugh. Crafting legacies in a manner you can never have. I'm speaking candy cause I'm sugar-coated candy. Ways of handling matters fell flat. So take this L at random. I risk my life for this music. The boss was reprimanding, gave me pink slips. I felt delinquent, so I could deliver something special. Now you see it like, oh, she decent. Approaching winter, but the heat's in season. Ain't no ego, never needed reasons other than my dad and brother to associate.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But what man? 40 acres be sacred, that's what I'm chasing.
I
But it
had to
makes
just
you
give
was
a little
crazy,
bit of
never
taste,
mind.
man.
Keep going.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You wish I let it keep going. You want to see the rest, go to YouTube, man. Put some views on that video. That's G Huff and Lena Jackson's appearance on the Static Selector show. You know what I'm saying? On Sirius XM, Shade
Static
45.
Selector.
Yeah, for sure. So check that out. But I'm gonna let the host actually get a proper introduction. I'm gonna cue up these sound effects.
All right. Part of the United Grind family, we have female MC extraordinaire Lena Jackson on the show today. Yes, aka the Wolf, aka Your Highness, if you're nasty. I say we bring her on. You know what it is. Oh, Wolf.
Was that a wolf sound effect?
Yeah, the Wolf is in the building.
What's up? I appreciate it.
No doubt.
Quick introduction.
Huh?
Yeah, what's going on, Lena? How are you?
I'm all right. How are y'all doing today?
Good. Can't complain.
Good.
Can't complain. This is our boy Siege. This is the only part of the team you haven't met yet. So this is my right partner, Siege. All right. Well, let's get right into it, man. The people are eagerly awaiting this interview. So I say we give it to them. Question for you right off the bat. We started off the interview with the wolf sound. I know that is your nickname. I want to hear how you got the wolf nickname. How did that happen? How did that come about? There's got to be a story.
Yeah, it's a story. A lot of people when they see me on the outs, they kind of see me as somebody that's kind of low key and actually shy. Like I grew up very shy. And some of those people wound up just kind of being in attendance to one of my shows. And when I hit the stage, it's like I've been told that I'm just like a completely different person. So the feedback was just like, oh my God, you're not even human. Like you're a beast, you're a wolf. And somewhere down the line, that wolf part stuck. So people would be like, yeah, you're a wolf. And they would just say it over and over. And I was like, all right, bet I'm a wolf. I'm gonna go ahead and use that, and so just people just started.
The MC version of Sasha Fierce, right?
Say what now?
That it's like the MC version of Sasha Fierce. That's your Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, I guess so. I never thought about it like that, but it wasn't even intended to be an alter ego as opposed to it just being.
Join us.
I mean, I don't know. I can't even describe it because it's just like when I hit the stage, I don't even know what like I always feel like I'm about to throw up. I always feel so, calm. I'm always so calm and quiet. And then when I get on the stage, it's like, bow, like I'm just ready. You know what I'm saying? And I just be ready to tear the stage up. So that's where a lot of people.
My first time seeing you perform was at our show, United A3C event. So I was very pleasantly surprised. You know what I'm saying? We knew, you know what I'm saying, that we were going to bring you on, you know what I'm saying, that, you and Huff were going to do your thing, but, the live performance of it, you know what I'm saying, like how y'all meshed in jail, and we'll get to that, but, you know what I'm saying, just you overall, you know what I'm saying, like I've seen you in person plenty of times before watching you hit the stage, so I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I'm in a testament, like when she hits the stage, it's something different. You know what I'm saying?
So my question would be, because I know someone that's similar to that. I've heard a similar type of story like that. Is the wolf your normal persona or your laid back self? Which one is more you? The true you.
The true me.
Yeah.
I would say that wolf persona embodies my passions. I think it sums up like my passions, my dreams, my emotions, my fears, all of that. Because when I hit the stage, all of that kind of comes out. I really think that is probably my true self. I think that people have always said this ever since I was a baby. My mother has said it, that I can be very intense. And I think that for a long time, I just kind of put a little filter on that intensity. So a lot of people just tend to see me as laid back and as shy and stuff like that. But when I'm doing what I absolutely love, and that's music, especially like for a live performance, like it's like you get to see all of that intensity that I usually just kind of keep under wraps. So
Yeah, and Tony, he seems to attest to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Shout out to Steve.
Twitter bars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Speed joined.
all right, Speedy.
Quick shout out to Speed. It's his son's birthday, so he couldn't be at the live today. But shout out to Speed.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Fifth member Speed of the turntable, man. He's falling back.
So here's a question. You mentioned passions and being able to kind of channel those passions or whatever. Got this guy mowing his lawn at the wrong time, but it's all good. Yeah, wrong time. But how do you channel that in your writing? You know, so talk to me about your writing process and how all that works out while I close my window and so we don't hear any more of the lawnmower. Go ahead. I'm still listening.
I think that as I've continued on in my career, I've gotten more confident in revealing more of my personality and more of my feelings. I think that it reflects in some of the music that I've created as opposed to when I first started out. I think when I first started out, I was still hesitant. I put myself out there because on my first project, that was the solo project with Darkness Brim. I was talking about some heavy stuff. I was talking about, poverty, and I was talking about mental health and stuff like that. But I think I still kind of came at it from a place of just hesitation and even fear because I was scared. I mean, I was scared to put myself out there like that, but I was still doing it. It was just like some worry behind it. I think now I have less worry because I don't know. It's just like I think I've grown more into who I am as an artist and have gotten more confident in my role. And so it's like now I'm just like, fuck it, you're gonna take what I give you and you're gonna like it. You either like it or you don't. But either way, like I'm gonna make sure you feel something. And that's kind of like the thing that I carry with me now. It's like, okay, you may not like this, you may not like that, but I'm gonna make sure you feel something,
Now you mentioned the Darkness Brim EP, and I do want to get a little bit of that. I mean, you have a new project out now, you know what I'm saying? But with Darkness Brim, that is your first solo effort. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my first solo effort. There was a lot. There was a lot going on around that time. Also, my father had passed away in the middle of me creating that project. So there was just a lot going on, and I really feel like it's still my initial baby, and I'm proud of it. But I didn't have the same type of boldness and confidence that I feel like I've developed, the past couple of years. So yeah, I think more and more I translate that passion from the stage into my writing, even stuff that hasn't quite been released yet. Like I'm like I kind of surprised myself with some things. So yeah, I don't know if the answer.
Was there something that happened to get you to that point, or was it just time naturally that you evolved into that feeling comfortable?
Time, but also grief. I lost my dad in 2017. My initial project came out in 2018. I lost my brother in 2019. And I'm naturally a softie, but it's hard to be a softie in this business and then around certain people who are not that way. So you kind of have to force yourself to kind of thicken your skin and stand your ground. And in doing that, I think that kind of spilled over into my art too, where it's like I'm standing my fucking ground and I'm gonna I'm gonna create what I want. I'm gonna myself however I want, and y'all gonna take it. Also though, with the duo project that I have with G Huff, I think that whole concept of teamwork and figuring out how to work with another person kind of helped also. I think sometimes when you're working with someone else, you tend to bring out strengths in one another. and you also kind of notice things about yourself. You know, I definitely noticed some weak spots with myself that I just kind of wanted to work on and put some oomph into. So so I think that has helped also, just that whole concept of working with someone else to create a project, and it's not just me. I think that helped tremendously, actually.
Absolutely.
Right. Now,
So-
you mentioned the new project. So is that where we were going? Because I wanted to highlight that.
Go for it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Grace
Yeah,
and
there we
Alchemy.
Grace and Alchemy. The new project, collaborative effort. So you went from your first solo debut to doing a collaborative effort. And something that we haven't seen in quite some time is the male female tandem. So do you want to like let us know like a little bit how that came about? Like why you and Huff, or you know what I'm saying, what inspired y'all to kick that? It's shout out to Enoch, man. We got somebody shouting us out from Kenya, man. So we gotta holler. You gotta let them quick. But yeah. So how did that, you know what I'm saying, bubble up?
Well, G Huff and I have been friends for a long time. For I don't know, it's probably about going on 4 or 5 years. And he actually approached me with the concept. So you know, we both have done music. You know, we were both artists, you know, in our own right beforehand. And it was more so his idea than anything. And I was just like, okay, that could work. You know, that could work. And the deeper we got into it, I mean, like, I don't know. It's like something kind of went off, you know, in me while we were creating. Because I at first, I think I was kind of slightly hesitant, more so about me than anything else. You know, I didn't know. I was like, well, could I pull it off? You know, just second guessing myself, and you know, second guessing you know, my ability to really, like, you know, show my strengths or bring something to the table. Like I did go through this period where I was kind of doubting myself, but the deeper we got into it, you know, the more excited I got, the more focused or driven I was towards it. And with every song that we created, I was like, oh shit, like we were really doing this. Like we could do this, and it sounds good. So you know, he has a different style. I have a different style, and we were able to make that work together, and just, you know, produce this project. And you know, we also kind of have a different.
Which is out now, right?
Can you hear me?
I said which is out right now.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you know, he actually helped a lot in terms of like I attribute it to me being Southern, but I take a very laid back approach to a lot of different things. And you know, he always wanted to you know, kind of keep things on the move and stuff like that. And it didn't quite feel comfortable to me at first, but it was a learning process. It's just like, you know, kind of learning how to kind of pick up the pace and you know, be a little bit more, you know, focused on the task at hand. I think that just kind of helped shape the project into what it was. So, I mean, shout out to G Huff, because, you know, he's very much about, you know, his business, and he has a lot of really dope ideas. And I think with us kind of putting our strengths together, like it worked. So.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite cuts off of the album, and why?
My favorites, one of my favorites was another dead rapper. We actually wound up remixing that one, and it still winds up being like one of my favorites. You know, so the original and the remix. So, you know, the remix is produced by Static Selector and had MOP on it. But I like both. I really sincerely enjoy both. There's another joint up there that we did called Lot of Love. And I enjoyed that one because, you know, at one point in time in my life, I didn't like the concept of writing about love and romance and shit like that. I just didn't think that it would sound right, you know. But I guess maybe I just didn't, you know, maybe love didn't hit the same. you know, when I was thinking that way. So
Sure.
when I heard like the beat and everything like that, I believe I wrote for it first. And when I started writing for it, like it was just like this raw emotion coming out, and I couldn't stop. And so yeah, like I'm kind of attached to that one because it was just real raw emotional shit. So yeah, that's one of my favorites as well.
You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Go ahead.
I'm going to make a prediction just based off of what you've shared just in the few minutes that we've had you thus far. If people haven't listened to your project, they're going to be even more interested in listening to your project after hearing you talk and speak about, especially about being passionate. I think it's a beautiful thing that interviews can kind of bring out about an artist. Kind of make a 2D project, make it more 3D, right? Bring the third dimensional being, feeling, and emotion. One thing also is that I want to talk about the production, because on that project, the production is, wow. I mean, it is nice. I really, really enjoy the production on there. I mean, the rhymes are great. I mean, it's a great mix, but a lot of times we'll have good production, rhymes, or great rhymes, production, but in this case, it's like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is good. It's consistent. It's not too busy. It's not distracting, but you definitely had a feel. So I want to know, like, was it? There's a consistent feel, I feel, throughout the entire album, at least in my opinion. Was that more G Huff picking the beats, or was that you picking the beats, or you guys pick them together?
We picked them together, or we kind of came to. I think it was like we. I'm trying to recall, like, if there were things that we absolutely heard and we just didn't want, like, or if like one, like if I liked it and he didn't, and like he just absolutely didn't like it, then it wasn't even a matter of trying to compromise. It wasn't going on the project, and vice versa. If he liked something and I was just like, no, but we kind of kicked back and forth, stuff that we just mutually agreed on and thought was dope. And I think there was a couple of joints he picked that I was unsure of, but it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily the quality of it, because all of it was quality. It was more so just me, and it's just like sometimes you hear something and you can be intimidated by it. You're not sure if you can compliment it, and so yeah, but we agreed on most of it. I think that that kind of shows itself in the project. As far as that feel is concerned, we meshed together pretty well as far as what we were hearing.
L Brown.
Yes, shout out to L Brown, absolutely.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, let's ask you another question here real quick. We want to know 3 artists, all right, that you would like to work with in the future. 3 artists that you would like to work with.
Not including me.
Yeah, excluded. Present company excluded.
And what did I say, Jenks? What did I say?
He said you. He said,
does everybody want to work with you? Go ahead.
I've said this in every interview I've ever had, from start to now. I've always wanted to work with Royce the 5'9". So that's
okay. Let me jump in real quick. This is me speaking personally. Being on a track with Royce would intimidate me, just because of how well he rhymes. Yeah, right. What's the thought process between why Royce?
He was just a huge his artistry, his technique and everything like that has been a huge motivator for me, just in my own writing and my own career. So he's been an influence, and ever since I've heard him, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I want to work with you so bad, and yeah, I mean, I agree, like it would be intimidating, you know what I'm saying? But that's been a part of my my life, you know, for the past couple of years is to jump into things that are intimidating to me, so I can kind of conquer them. Not conquer Royce, but just saying, you know,
I know
just,
what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Conquer the moment. Yeah.
You said what you said. So that's the
See.
Royce.
There you go.
I want no smoke. I want no smoke. I gotta say the right thing. So
yeah, Royce is one of them. Let me go and lock myself in for a couple weeks and come out with 4 bars.
Have you
so the other two, the second one would be Missy Elliott. Just, I mean, like the moment I heard Missy Elliott, and then I heard her before I saw her. So I remember hearing her, and I'm like, who is that? And then I remember seeing her, and I was like, oh my God! Like I just went crazy because she sounded however she wanted to sound. She wore whatever she wanted to wear. She did, like, she just did whatever she wanted to do, and it always just worked, you know. And to this day, like, she's still like that. So she was just a really heavy influence for me, you know, coming up. And I mean, absolutely, the way that I see her mind works creatively, like I would love to be a part of that. My third pick, I'm just laughing because when I say this to people, they get so surprised. But my third pick is actually T-Pain. I would like to work with T-Pain. I remember hearing his album, and not the radio tracks, but I remember hearing his album because on his first album, you could hear songs without the auto-tune, and his voice is immaculate. You know, I think that, you know, the auto-tune worked for him, and it worked for his era, and it worked for his images, you know, whatever he was trying to create. But the voice, his original voice was just amazing to me. And I learned more about him and his knowledge of music and music composition and how to create songs and stuff like that. And I was just really, really intrigued by it, and I was really impressed by it. So, you know, I think that, you know, some people are surprised when I say that, but I think they might be going off of, you know, what they hear on the radio and stuff like that, which is cool. But I'm just saying, you know, I like to learn about artists, and I like to learn about what they actually know. You know, because sometimes, you know, the radio can show you one component of what an artist is, and the more I learned about him, the more intrigued I was. I was just like, you know, we could probably make a really dope song. So yeah.
He's a genius. He's a genius.
Yes.
Like I watched him on YouTube. He was doing something like he has like this series where he just like makes a beat and a song on the spot, like live. He's a genius. He's a genius. And he won the Masked Singer last season, so he let everybody know, like, I can blow for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I dig that.
Writing process. I know Haiku touched on it a little bit, but what does the actual writing process look for you? Do you write to a beat? Do you write to an idea? How long does it take?
I mean, it'll take forever if if it's just up to me, you know. So I've actually grown to be in favor of like deadlines and stuff like that, just so I can kind of be more productive in what I do, because I'm very much like a hippie in terms of, you know, it song come when it come. You know, if it come to me, I write it.
Is it in one sitting?
Say what now?
Is it in one sitting, or do you come back to a rhyme several times?
I'll typically come back to a rhyme several times, because I most of the time I'm not satisfied the first go round anyway. So you know, I'm never 100% satisfied with what I create. So I always have to kind of go back and revisit. And also, you know, you get mad at somebody and you know, you come back later and you realize, you know, okay, maybe the things you said or maybe the things you felt, you know, weren't clear cut or in reality. Like, that's how I feel about my songs. You know, sometimes I come back to them and I'm like, okay, I might have just been in a mood, or, you know, maybe something, because this ain't it. This isn't what I wanted to convey. So that's why I always like go back and revisit. I actually don't like the concept of just writing something here and now, but I have, but at the same time, it's like, it still has to be real to me. It still has to be authentic. So if it happens to come to me, then great. I've had that happen before, and me like still hear it and be pleased with what I hear. But for the most, I do kind of just take my time.
So it sounds like you write with emotion rather than writing with, because some people write with an analytical mind where they're looking for word schemes and things like that. And some people, like maybe Tupac wrote with his heart, you know what I'm saying? So he let that guide him, where other people let their mind maybe guide them. So it sounds like maybe you're in that lane.
Yeah. I have to feel it. I've turned down opportunities, as far as like features or even songs that I thought might have sounded good in my head. Like, I've went to record it or something like that, and I'm like, nah, this isn't it. And because I have to feel it somewhere, and I get the whole logical aspect of it, but if I'm not feeling it, then it's not going to sound good to me, and I don't think it'll be believable by anybody else either. So yeah, my heart plays a big role in how I create.
Garbs, did you have a question, Garbs?
I think you guys did like ask a whole bunch of like really spectacular questions. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, well, what more can I ask? I do feel the writing process of, making sure that it comes from your heart. Now, with that being said, do you ever conceptually try to push past the boundary of maybe that something may not actually be something that relates directly to you, but it may be a dope concept that you try to address and speak on?
If I can identify it, and I can have some insight into the experience of maybe someone else, I think I'm good with that in just real life. Just music aside. I think that comes from me just kind of having like a psychological background and a therapeutic background, and being able to have empathy and insight and
yeah, I think I heard you say you were an empath on a verse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So having that ability kind of does give me the opportunity to kind of put myself in other people's shoes and write from a perspective that's not quite my own. I have a project, not project, but I have a song that I wrote on Darkness Brim, and it was a song that was more so for women. It got a lot of good feedback from men, but it was about just being in a romantic situation and getting played, like just getting straight up dogged out and stuff like that. And I haven't really had that type of situation the way that I explained it in the song. Like I hadn't really been in that type of situation, but I know I kind of have a good idea of how it feels, because there's plenty of my girlfriends or just people in general that have been that have had their face played, have been cheated on and all this other stuff. So I was able to kind of pull that off, and people love that song. I mean, the women love it, and then the men. I'm so surprised. Like, there's so many men that's like, that's my favorite song. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, I think I can pull it off, as long as it's just not just completely outlandish, and I can't even think of an example, but there's certain stuff that I just I probably wouldn't get into, if it's talking about drugs or the glorification of, like, I'm not even going to play pretend with you, player. Like, it's not. I'm probably not going to do that, unless it's done in a metaphorical way and discussing its impact or something like that. But just hyping it up and shit, nah.
I understand. So I also, here's a question, because I know you said who you would really prefer to collaborate with. Now, one question I want to know is maybe name 3 of your biggest inspirations.
Word. Okay.
Now hold on. Because We have an episode.
Well, okay, so let me other. Okay,
I'm like,
okay, good point.
Like,
good point.
So if you want to find out who Lena's inspirations are,
I'm like, she gave us 3. What you talking? You looking for 4, 5, and 6? I mean, what you looking for?
Good point. Good point.
Wait, look. I think it's a good. I think it's a good jump off point from here because we thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you today and on the last time when we got together. It was a great show. It's probably one of my favorite shows that we've done. Just getting to know you, checking out the album has been a great experience. I'm really hoping people check it out. Grace and Alchemy, you got to check it out. Lena Jackson, G Huff got a single out with Spice One featuring Spice One, the remix. This is good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. So I'm hoping people check it out. You know that you're a friend, you're family of the show. So make sure that you come and check us out when you can. We'd love to have you back on. Everybody give a round of applause to Miss Lena Jackson. You got that queued up, right, Jinx? Round of applause. Thank you very much. Give her flowers. Give her around and around and around. All right.
If you want to see more with Lena, the episode, the Turntable episode will premiere on May 26th. So you want to get to YouTube, you want to subscribe, you want to get the notifications so you don't miss that, and you will find out who Miss Lena's influences are. All 3 of them.
Mm-hmm,
all right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Lena. We appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. Thank you, gentlemen.
No doubt. Take care. Peace.
All right.
That's our first. Man. How we do in the comments? Let us know how we did. That's the first Turntable interview ever.
Yeah, it went well.
Good times, man. Good times for sure. The one thing we forgot. Go ahead,
Jinx, you got to speak into the mic, bro. Into the mic.
No, I was saying, do we keep doing the interviews? That's the question.
Oh, word up.
Sure. I think so. But I guess you got to let the people comment on that.
Yeah. The people got to let us know, man. Y'all got to let us know how we did with that. Lena was our first official interview on the Turntable. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies first.
Word up.
Right. So, you know what? The one question we forgot to ask, there was a recent comment made on social media. About someone saying that, you know what? Without me, I don't have to explain it. Jinx, you talk about it. You're the one who brought it up. I'm not going to do it justice.
Yeah, well, with the verses, I guess it has something to do with a live that Swiss Beats did with Usher. And Usher said, and I quote, Nicki Minaj is a product of Lil' Kim, and they saying that he's facing some backlash now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that means. Backlash because he said Nicki Minaj is a product of Lil' Kim. I did forget. I did want to get Lena's take on that, but since it's just us now, what y'all think?
I think that is a valid point based off. It's
I don't know how you see it any other way.
Clear cut. Like I don't think that there's any other way to anybody that's saying otherwise. Just really can you even really take their opinion seriously?
Nicki Minaj studied at the dojo of Lil' Kim.
Yeah,
she was there faithfully taking notes.
Waxing off.
Yes, indeed. There's no way around it. That whole lane of what female rappers in the mainstream are today is directly attributed to Lil' Kim. Almost every. You said what?
And directly.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you look at every mainstream top-selling female artist out in the last decade, you can trace that back to Lil' Kim. Probably longer than a decade.
No doubt. Not to mention, like, she had a whole brand rollout where pretty much they were literally shot for shot her
Yes,
photos and all that stuff.
yes.
With
I was gonna
dope.
say she was taking the same pictures that little Kim took.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Same,
saying?
same color scheme. Same.
Hard,
I mean, come on.
hardcore pose. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
All y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So to
It's
me,
not,
it's like a brainer. It's like a no brainer.
it is. It's not an argument. It's not even like you said. It's just, like Garb said, you kind of got to look at somebody a little bit weird, like, huh?
But you know what? Here's the other side of it, and this is something that I was actually going to touch on social media nowadays. Is that it seems that in this current climate, that people take issue with giving other people props, and then giving props in a manner that shows their influence on them. And I think that
Mhm.
that's a huge problem that we're dealing with in hip hop, where it's like give credit where it's due first off, and then two, don't feel some type of way just because you give her props to somebody who came out before you that inspired you. That's
Right.
okay.
Shout out to Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that was a dope record, and it came together perfectly. And I think that is stuff we need more of, that type of stuff. Not exactly, but I think that's really, really dope. And speaking of that, Joyner Lucas joint, you hear Will's verse on the
That's
remix?
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that. You know what? I'm gonna just put this out here, man. It's probably an unpopular opinion, but
I can't wait to hear this.
Yes.
I've been hitting the joint for a long time. You know what I'm saying? For a real long time, as far as like his work before he kind of like actually blew up and started working with Eminem. And I wasn't surprised to see him start working with Eminem, because from the very beginning, I knew that Joyner Lucas was an Eminem fan.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So not to say that you can't be influenced by more than one person, but
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that he went the Will route. You know what I'm saying? Outside of,
I think Will inspired him in his life, and Eminem inspired him lyrically.
Spot on. Absolutely.
I totally agree. Agree. There's just one thing I will say this. It is.
But I agree, James, because I always felt the same way too. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Being a black man in America, your superheroes in general are all gonna be white. This, that, and the third, right? The shows that you watch are probably all gonna have. Calm down. The shows that you watch are gonna have mostly all white characters. This, that, and the third. It's crazy. But when I know exactly what he was talking about, when he said, man, I looked up to Will, it's like, man, here we are, somebody that looks like me, someone who had tough times, interested in this music thing, and look where he took it, and I thought that, Will's, obviously, Will's influenced a lot of people, he's inspired a lot of people, but for someone like Joyner Lucas, I thought it was because a lot of people will look at Will and be like, oh, he's corny, especially in the hip hop circles. Some hip hop circles that would say he's corny. But, I think that I'm glad that Joyner had the maturity to say, you know what, forget all that. He dope. And let me show you how dope he is. I'm going to tell you how he inspired me. That song by itself was dope.
I'm glad Will had the maturity.
When you think about it, the thing is that a lot of people that may have or put that perspective out, like, oh, he's corny, like, do they really actually know the history? Do they know his history? Do they know the fact that him and Jazzy Jeff actually won the first hip hop Grammy ever?
I don't even feel like that's the consensus now.
What'd you say?
I don't even feel like that's the consensus right now. I feel like maybe there was a point in time where people felt, or certain people felt that way about Will. Right now, I think he kind of just like circumvented that, and you know what I'm saying, he's just, he's a mainstay at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was gonna say. I'm happy he had the maturity to not give in to all the naysayers. Like in the middle of his career, he could have been like, man, they call me corny, I need to do this. Will has been the same dude from day one to where he is now.
And when you think about like Summertime, you know, no matter what type of hip hop fan that you listen to, that you are, you know, Summertime. No matter your
Oh yeah,
group, it doesn't
it's about
matter. How,
I might go play it right after
Forward
this. Might go
like,
put it on right after this.
well, here's an interesting factoid about me, real quick. And I actually, you know, I'm going to follow it up with this a question for you guys. So, since we've been on threes, the first 3 albums that I ever owned as a kid was, you know, first off was Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. Number 2, Rock the House. Number 3, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. Those were the first
Rock
3.
the House is an underrated classic. Rock the House is an underrated classic.
I honestly think both of those albums were just.
Oh no, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper gets the props it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody talk about Rock the House though.
Nobody talks about Rock the House. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Like and like so really, you know, he was a huge influence to me as well because like I mean, what did those albums? All 3 of those albums came out between 86 and 89. So I was a kid. I was like between 4 and 8 years old, or you know what I'm saying? I can't remember, you know, whenever they came out, but I'm just giving that as the, you know, the time frame.
Backdrop. Yeah.
But those were super.
Parents just don't understand was on both albums. That's the crazy thing. It was on his first album, but it didn't hit the way it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it out on the second album and it blew up, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your question, Garbs?
Well, I wanted to actually hear the first 3 albums that all of you.
I can give you the first 2 because I got them on the same day. I don't know what the first 3 were. So obviously, here's a crazy thing. This is one of Siege's dumb stories. Like, I didn't know rap albums existed. I thought what you heard on the radio was all that they had.
That was it. Okay. All right.
So it wasn't until I was on the school bus with some other kids and they were playing like Eric B. and Rakim. And I'm like, what song is that? I've never heard that before. And they're like, it's on the album. I'm like, there's an album? I had it blew my mind. So then I'm like, wait. So there's songs that I don't even have a clue that are out there that other people are listening to that I'm not listening to. So my first 2 albums were Criminal Minded and what was the first Public Enemy album? What's it called?
Bum Rush the Show.
Bum Rush the Show. Thank you, Garbs. Thank you. So those are my first two albums I ever held in my possession that I owned.
Those are some dope first two
albums. And I played them to death.
Yeah, on tape. Let the tape
on tape. On tape. Yep.
James, what about you, James? What you have? What are your first 3?
I can't remember a third, but I mean, we talking just albums. I mean, because my first albums weren't rap albums.
No, I was going to say first
hip hop album. Make your first hip hop album.
First hip hop
album. That would depend if you would. That would depend if you thought BBD was a hip hop album, because that's my first.
Okay, we'll take it.
They what hip hop feel smoothed out with the R&B.
Bobby, Rick. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what are your like actual with people actual? Yeah.
It would have to be somewhere between Tribe, because there's different eras. There was the era of me like burning CDs, getting mixed CDs. Like before I actually owned the album, I had a lot of that. And I think somebody, or not CDs, tapes. I'm tripping. Tapes.
I was just saying, like,
tape that I can remember having in my possession was Redman. There's a Dark Side.
Woo!
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't remember if that was the actual first though.
I'm not mad if it is though.
Yeah. So I was gonna say like that's a great
First
I
album.
know my first CD was Tribe, Midnight Marauders. That's actually the first probably album that I went to the store, picked it up, bought it, cashed out myself. Other than that, everything was more or less just like who got it, who's passing it, who's
You got the
recording
dub.
it.
You
You
got
know
the
what I'm saying?
dub of it.
Oh man,
You
I
dub
was
that.
dubbing like crazy. Like I didn't even think about like, buying an album. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say either Redman or Tribe.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Haikus is let me see here.
How
Yeah.
well do you know your boy? How well do you know your
Let's
boy?
see. Black Sheep.
That's ding, 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 ding,
Yeah, okay.
ding, ding,
Uh,
ding. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing.
the second one would be tough. Let me see. The second one, Diggable Planets.
No,
Okay, I
no,
knew I would get the one. I was like, two
no.
gonna be hard.
The second one would be Low in Theory, Tribe.
Oh, my man.
And actually, these are not even in order.
Yeah, I
But
know.
and then Brand Nubian. The Brand Nubians first, which was a total recommendation, right? I
Yeah.
bought, my boy at
Which
school,
Brand Nubian? Do you know the name of it?
All for One,
Okay.
the one with All for One on it.
Okay.
So my boy was like, "Yo, take a listen." I was like, "Man," I listened to it and I was like, "I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling
I
it." He
didn't
said,
like it
"Dude,"
either. I wasn't
he
feeling
said,
it.
he said, "Listen again, listen again." And I went back and really like dug a little bit deeper because I was, when you were a kid, different things attract
I
you.
didn't like no Brand Nubian albums until it's crazy. Until they were washed up. When they were done is when I liked them. So when they did the Foundation album,
Okay.
which
Don't
was
let it go
given,
to your head on it.
yeah, which was given to me by Mick Boogie.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
at
yeah.
his house and he was like, "Look, I know you don't really like them, but you're gonna love this." And I'm like, "Bruh, I'm not feeling." He said, "Trust me, take it, go home, listen to it." He never got it back. It stayed in my ride. I was like, "Yo, this right here."
That's funny.
So what's interesting, like y'all are all, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying this as a shot or anything, but y'all are all pretty much older than me, a little older than me.
That's
But
fact.
like, and my first albums were before y'all had y'all first albums, which is mind blowing to me right now. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I have an excuse. I grew up in a very Pentecostal household. There wasn't gonna be no hip hoppity stuff in my house.
hippity-hoppity.
No hippity hop. We had to have tapes hidden underneath beds, like hidden deep. Looked like it was like we was on lockdown, dude. We was on lockdown. So we hit all that
You was
stuff.
you was
Yeah.
hiding the hammer with your chess pieces.
I grew up in a Baptist household, man. Wasn't no hip hop. Like, it pretty much got to the point where she was like, when my mom was like, "Okay, I see, I'm not gonna stop you with this hip hop." So, bitch, but like my early years was, hey, I see you like rap. Here goes some Christian
DC
rap.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me that
That
DC talk.
that
Hey,
actually might
fellas.
be one of the first hip hop albums. It was DC Talk.
Wow. Hey,
Didn't have
Jinx,
that.
are we doing the Bad Fan off live or what?
No, well, we're gonna do it. I was actually gonna transition from this conversation into the bad fan picks. I don't know if we got.
I gotta wrap up soon, so I was just curious.
Let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
It's cool. Let's get to it. So bad fan reviews. Jinx, I think you do the good job in explaining what this segment's all about. Can you do that?
All right. So the bad fan reviews is basically, as avid hip hop fans and listeners that we pride ourselves in being. The bad fan is basically to re-expose us to classic albums or just great albums, good albums that we might have missed on our journey. We talk about a lot of old school hip hop on the show, stuff that we've all listened to, things that we haven't gotten to. We're actually going to take a week, listen to these albums, come back and review them on the show. So the bad fan review is basically the redemption for the hip hop listener.
All right. And with that being said, I got Jinx. Jinx, I got you. This is an album I want you to check out. I'm pretty sure you haven't listened to it. It's called Dead.
No, I need a selection.
Nah, we just need to just pick one. And,
All right,
if you haven't
what
heard
is
it,
it?
move on to the
If I
next.
heard,
The
I
group,
heard it.
called, the group is called Gray Skull. The group is called Gray Skull. The album is called Dead Livers.
I heard it.
You suck.
He just saying that because he don't want to listen to it.
No, what is it?
You are terrible.
I hope
Gray,
I got one for him.
the group is called Gray Skull.
He
The
heard
album is
it.
called Dead Livers. He didn't
Did
hear
you
it?
really hear it, Jenks?
I ain't heard that shit.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I thought-
I said no.
Here
He ain't
you
heard
go.
it. You don't like it. It's not bad.
Live.
It's good. Solid.
They're dope. They're dope.
It's solid. Is it classic?
For
Am I
his
the
genre. For his
I'm gonna
genre.
I'm gonna go ahead and listen, man. I got you. Gray Skulls.
My man.
The
Gray
Dead
Skull.
Live.
That's right. All right. Siege, who you got? You got me?
Yeah, I got you. DOC, no one can do it better.
Okay.
Woo, you ain't heard that?
Heard that?
Enjoy.
Oh,
Enjoy.
yeah. Bro,
Nope.
wow.
I have just gifted you, homie. You're welcome.
You popped your collar and all that. It was just
Bro,
Hey,
seriously,
so
that's one of the best hip hop albums ever made.
all right. All right.
Agreed.
I stand by that.
All right,
So
Jinx,
I
who you
guess-
got?
Who do I got? I got guard.
Yeah.
it's the challenge. Challenge.
Man. Yeah, man. Clips to the casket drops.
That's a good album, boy.
Heard it.
Yeah.
That's the album that made me a Clips fan.
Rick Ross, Teflon Down.
Ooh, I'm not hip to that one.
I listen to that. I like his beat selection. So let me write that down.
I ain't ask you if you like it. That's the album. If you ain't heard it, that's
No,
your
he said he
album.
likes his beat
Yeah, I
selection.
like
He
his-
ain't heard
I
it.
like his beat selection. I haven't heard the whole album.
Okay, Teflon Down, baby. There we go.
So
You got Siege.
I got Siege.
It's gonna be tough.
Did you hear Bushwick Bill Phantom of the Rapper?
I did.
You heard Phantom of the Rapper.
Yeah, I remember I was Rap A Lot fan back then.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Don't. You know what? Give me Stakes is High.
You never heard Stakes is High?
No.
We discussed it. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just mind blown. I just still like it's incredibly shocking to
You
me.
don't got nothing else. I don't like the fact that he picked his own. You don't got nothing else for him.
No.
But you gotta admit that's a good one though.
It
Supposedly.
is.
Spectacular album.
I just don't like the fact that you picked your own.
All right,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
opposed to Stakes. I'm not
If
opposed
Speed
to
was here, Speed would have given it to him anyway. So
That's true.
there you have it. So
I'm surprised he didn't give it to me last time.
I'm like, that's actually a great pick. So I wouldn't even
All right.
think. So yeah, that would be good.
here's the thing: you're gonna have a hard time finding it, homie. You
Oh.
it ain't all,
It's
Hmm?
not
It's out there. You can find it.
it's not streamable.
none of De La's early stuff. Is
You know
streamable.
what? I didn't think of that, but I'm pretty sure my wife owns it. So
It's not strange.
Your
It's
wife
not,
on it, and you still haven't listened to
It's
it.
the house.
she's a big De La fan.
I
It's
have.
in the house, and you haven't heard.
That is ridiculous.
Worst case, I can provide it.
Crazy to me.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Boo this man.
Oh, I really got to roll, y'all. My bad.
All right. Well,
All right, well,
we
we
got
got
You know what? It's on. No, you're right.
It's not on any streaming, but I can provide it for you if needed.
I have it. The De La,
I'll find it.
email out with all their albums for free, like
Right,
years
exactly.
back.
Yeah,
They was
I'll
throwing
find it. No
shade at
problem.
Tommy Boy. Yeah, they was throwing shade at Tommy Boy. So I was like, I love all these.
Oh yeah, I downloaded all the albums. So if you
I
need it,
gotta
I'll
roll
put
you.
it on the
All
drive.
right.
Do that, Jinx. Go ahead and do
All
that
right, man.
anyway.
All right, y'all. I got
I
holler.
said just
Right.
all right.
Well, holla. Well, all right.
You just
All right.
lost one. All right, man. So let's go ahead and do the wrap up.
Well, hey, today we got a chance to talk to Lena Jackson from United Grind. We discussed her album, Grace and Alchemy with G Huff. That's right, aka the Wolf. Lena Jackson, we got a chance to talk to her. We had a great conversation. So if you didn't catch it live, then you're gonna have to catch uh, the recording of it for sure. We had an awesome time. That was solid. That was solid. So and then after that, we talked a little bit about Little Kim and this whole Nicki Minaj controversy is going on with Usher. It's ridiculous, but we want to hear your thoughts anyway. And then we also did made our picks for the Bad Fan Review. So I just want to kind of give people a quick recap so they know what to expect from us coming next time. So we got a new show coming out. What this week? What day is it going to be, Jinx? What day?
Tuesday.
On it.
Special guest, Vice Electric on the turntable. So make sure y'all check that episode out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know what we got going on and when we got it going on.
You already know what to do, people. We'll see y'all then. See y'all next time. Peace out.
Yes.